All right, welcome back. Now, Canto 2. We're reading through the Divine Comedy using my translation, which is the best translation, I just have to say. Uh, so I think. But we have woken up in the dark wood with Dante. We tried to get up the mountain with him, and the beasts stopped us because our transgressions are many and our apostasies are great, as Dante is clearly referring to with the three beasts being a leopard, a lion, and a she-wolf, three beasts that are directly out of Jeremiah 5, verse 6, referring to the judgment of God. So we're driven back down to where the sun is silent, and Virgil appears and says that he can be our guide out of this place, out of the mess that we're in, out of our sin. He can't bring us all the way to salvation, but he can bring us part of the way. And the reason why is because, amongst many other things, Virgil represents natural law. And natural law is still true. It still is real. It derives from the eternal law, and it represents what God has revealed to us in creation. So there are a host of truths that we can apprehend apart from faith, right? Pagans were able to do math, for instance. Pagans had a great deal of awareness of the way humans tick. Were they able to identify the source in Christ, in God? No, of course not. And therefore, they didn't have a complete knowledge even of the things that they did know. Faith is required for a right knowledge of everything. And so faith comes later and in Beatrice, and unpacks and explains even the things that Virgil thought he knew. But that doesn't mean that Virgil was wrong about everything. And so Virgil can, in a very helpful way, in a specific way, point out certain things, even if we're taking it with a grain of salt, because, again, as we're going to find out in the next canto, he is one who has lost the good of the intellect. So we'll talk about that next time. But here we have Dante growing a little bit of a cowardice streak, and has some questions. And so here's Canto 2 of Inferno. The day was leaving, and the dusky air was dismissing the animals on land from their endeavors. And I, one alone, was setting myself to shoulder the war against both the journey and the pity which the mind that does not wander will show. O Muse, here we have something of an invocation. O Muse, O lofty genius, help me now. O Memory, Memory was the mother, the goddess Memory was the mother of the 9 muses, and is an important figure in not only Greek mythology, but symbolically representing what is it that we need to understand who we are, where we've come from, our identity, our purpose. We need memory. We need to remember. We need to actually think and understand the things that have happened before. Dante, of course, has completed this entire journey and is back in Italy writing it all down now, having already seen the beatific vision. His task is to return to his desk and write down what he saw. And so he's calling on the muses, he's calling on memory to aid him as he reflects back and remembers his journey so that he can bring it to us and instruct us. O Muse, O lofty genius, help me now. O memory that sets down what I saw, here your nobleness will reveal itself. I began, Poet, you who would guide me, consider my virtue if it is strong before you entrust me to the high path. You have said, the father of Silvius, while mortal, went down to the undying world and was there in a sensible body. Yet if the nemesis of all evil was kind to him, thinking of the high end and both who and what must come forth from him, it seems not strange to one who understands, for the empyrean heaven chose him to be the father of nurturing Rome. Now, what is he saying here? Father of nurturing Rome and her realm. Aeneas, obviously, you speak of Aeneas, Virgil, he went down into hell, but into the underworld. But that makes sense because God, who is the nemesis of evil, God knew who and had ordained who would be derived from, or who would derive from, who would be the descendants of Aeneas, that is Rome. And Rome is that great symbol of light and truth in the ancient world for Dante. And the seedbed, the Roman Empire, is the seedbed in which Christ was born and the church was founded. And so Rome becomes a really important character in the comedy, and what Rome represents as the city of man, but in a beneficial way. Obviously not greater than the city of God, but a necessary place for Romans 13 type of justice to be administered. And so Dante is saying here, the pilgrim is saying, it makes sense that Aeneas was allowed to be in the underworld, because look what he did, right? He goes on. So it seems not strange to one who understands, for the empyrean heaven chose him to be the father of nurturing Rome and her realm, both of which, to speak the truth, were established to be that holy place where sits the son of the greater Peter, right? He understood these things that were the cause of the journey for which you give him praise, his victory and the papal mantle. So Dante is rewriting history a little bit, saying that Aeneas foresaw not just the Roman Empire, but the church as well, represented by Peter and the papacy. And then the chosen vessel, which is Paul, the Apostle Paul, 2 Corinthians 13. The chosen vessel ascended to bring back from thence comfort for that faith that comes first on the path of salvation. Okay, that's an interesting phrase. So he's referring to Paul ascending into the third heavens, as he relates at the end of 2 Corinthians. But then he says that faith that comes first on the path of salvation, right? Faith is that first step to be saved. Actual faith, living faith. But why come there? Or who allows it? I am not Aeneas, nor am I Paul. None think I am worthy of this, nor I, right? He's like, I can't do this. I'm not Aeneas. I'm not Paul. For if I abandon myself to come, I fear my coming would be foolishness. You are wise. You know what I cannot say. He's trying to be humble, right? I'm not Aeneas. I'm not Paul. I can't do this. This isn't something that I was made for. I feel like this is just going to be a waste of time. This is how he continues. And like the one who unwills what he willed, changing his purpose because of new thoughts, wholly turns himself from what was begun, so did I make myself on that dark shore. For, thinking, I exhausted the venture that I had been intent on beginning. It's like he's getting cold feet, right? He starts thinking about what's going to happen, like going through hell, for instance, and starts to have second thoughts. If I have rightly understood your words, responded the shade of that great-souled man, your soul is being injured by cowardice, which very often obstructs man, such that he is turned back from the honored venture, as when shadows frighten the skittish beasts. You're just being a coward, Dante. That's what Virgil says. You're nothing more than the cat that is skittish at shadows, right? Jumping, being frightened by something so ephemeral. So that you might save yourself from this fear, I will tell why I came and what I heard that from the first pained me on your account. I was among those that are suspended when a lady so blessed and beautiful called me, so that I urged her to command. Her eyes were shining brighter than the stars, and she began to speak gentle and soft, with an angelic voice in her language. O courteous Mantuan soul, she said, the fame of whom still endures in the world, and will endure as long as the world lasts. My friend, though not the friend of fortune's wheel, is so hindered on that deserted shore, that he, through fear, has turned back from the way. And I tremble that he might be too lost, that I have risen too late to succor, from what I have heard of him in heaven. Now go forth, and with your beautiful words, with what is needful to keep him alive, help him, that I in this might be consoled. Beatrice I am, that moves you to go. I come from thence where I wish to return. Love it was that moved me. Love makes me speak. When I again before my sovereign stand, I will often sing your praises to him. So Virgil sees Beatrice come down into limbo, into the first circle of hell, and she pleads with him, "Help me, right, my friend? He is lost. He is on the verge of death, and you're my only hope, right? Please help me." And if you caught the Fortune's Wheel, the reference to Boethius, that was not at all accidental. Of course, Dante loves Boethius and is channeling his own lady philosophy in the figure of Beatrice. With this, she fell silent. Then I began, "O Lady of Virtue, through whom alone mankind rises above what is contained by that heaven with the slowest circles, your commandment is so pleasing to me that if already done, I was too slow. No more than your desire now is needed. But tell me, why do you not guard yourself from descending below to this center, from the expanse to which you dare return?" So Virgil is eager to obey, eager to help, and has this one question: how are you not afraid of coming down here into hell? How are you guarded against this? How are you guarded against this fear? She responds, "Because your desire to know goes so deep, briefly will I tell you," she answered me, "why I do not fear coming to this place. One should only be afraid of those things that have the power to harm another. Of other things, no, they are not fearful. I am made by God, and by his mercy, such that your deep sorrow touches me not, nor does the burning flame harm me at all. There is a gentle lady in heaven who has such compassion for this hindrance to which I send you," the hindrance, the dark wood hindering Dante, and the three beasts, the she-wolf especially, hindering Dante, "to which I send you, that the hard judgment there above is broken. She," that's Mary, "she called Lucy in her request and said, 'Your faithful one has need of you. I commend him to you.'" Lucy was the Santa Lucia, the not only the patron saint of poets, but also the patron saint of the eyes. And so the poet is the one who's able to see, the one who needs light, and Lucia comes and gives that light. So that's why Mary calls Lucy. She called Lucy in her request and said, "Your faithful one has need of you. I commend you to him." Lucy, the foe of every cruelty, rose up and came to the place where I was, sitting there beside the ancient Rachel. "Beatrice," she said, "faithful praise of God, why help you not the one that loved you so, he that left behind the crowds for your sake? Hear you not the pity of his weeping? See you not the death that fights against him? On such a flood no sea could ever boast. None on earth was ever so swift to gain a favor for themselves or flee their loss as I," Virgil is saying, "after these words had been spoken. In coming down here from my blessed seat, trusting myself to you and your wise words that honor you and all that hear him." Sorry, that was Beatrice that said that. Beatrice coming down to get Virgil to help. "After she reasoned this way with my soul, weeping, she turned her shining eyes to me, so that I was all the more quick to go. And I have come to you, just as she willed. I have saved you from that ravenous beast that kept you from climbing the good mountain. So what is it? Why? Why do you remain? Why does cowardice so attract your heart? Why do you still lack daring and resolve, having seen that 3 such ladies bless you, nursing you from the courts of high heaven, and seeing that my words promise you such good? As florets bend and close beneath night's chill, and afterwards, as the sun whitens them, they straighten fully open on their stem, so I made myself from my weary strength, and so much good daring coursed through my heart, that I began as one made resolute. O compassionate one that succored me, and you, courteous guide, who have obeyed so promptly the true words that she gave you, You have, with your words, truly reordered my heart with desire to come, that I turn once more to my original purpose. Now go. There is but one will between us. You are the leader, you, Lord and Master. Thus I said to him, and after he went, I entered on the high and savage way. So Dante is full of cowardice. His heart is attracted to cowardice. And Virgil tells him the story. There are three ladies in heaven, Mary, Lucy, and Beatrice, who want you to be saved, right? And so are creating this opportunity by sending me for your salvation. Now, Beatrice, when we get in many moons from now, when we get to the top of purgatory, Beatrice is going to explain that this was the only way for Dante to be saved, that he see firsthand the effects, the consequences of sin, and what sin does, not just to the soul, but to the community, to the nation, how it twists us in its own lies, and how it corrupts the different aspects of our soul, which we'll get into as we move forward. So with that, we'll see you in Canto 3.